Sabrina Daolio. Thanks for joining us, Sabrina.
Thanks for having me.
Sabrina, when did you discover your passion for the sports, and how did this ultimately lead you to take up OCR competitively?
Well, I used to be in competitive show jumping and I stopped riding and I needed something else to do. And I remember seeing this ad for an obstacle race, an urban obstacle race called Men's Health Urban Athlon. I saw the prize money was really good, so I said, okay, 12 Ks, I haven't really run that far, but let me give it a shot. And I did it and I won it, which was really awesome. And I met two other obstacle racers, JJ Dazel and Greg Avrianos. And I said, I want to get involved. So yeah, that's where it kind of started there.
And then tell us about how you started to prepare yourself physically and mentally to become an OCR athlete after that.
Yeah, well, physically, it's a lot of training, and just because obstacle racing is such a diverse sport, it's not just running, it's not just being able to lift heavy, it's also grip strength. So it all started with me first being able to do a push-up. So that's really where it was really physically demanding for me, just because I wasn't strong at all. Yeah, obstacle racing is just a mental game as it is physically. You just need to be able to push through pain and start to love to suffer. Yeah.
So pursuing this dream of the OCR World Championship has not been easy for you, Sabrina. At times it's even seemed impossible. Walk us through the challenges you faced leading up to the World Champs.
Well, firstly it was to qualify, because I missed more than half the season, just recovering from a knee injury. So I had surgery last year for an ITB release. I had a niggle that just wasn't going away, and I tried to push through it, and I did everything I possibly could for it. Went for physios, into the bio, and it just wasn't getting better. So I did the surgery, and yeah, it took way longer than expected to recover. I was doing everything right. And then I saw another two surgeons who recommended that I redo the surgery. But yeah, God is good, He answered my prayers and I didn't have to redo it, and now I don't have any pain in that knee.
So let's talk about the World Championship specifically in Canada that you did a few weeks ago. Take us through the highs and lows of this race and the feeling of not only fulfilling your dream but actually placing on the podium at the end of the race.
Okay, well, the lows was also just working up to the race, having not as trained as much as I'd like to, but with any obstacle race you're never going to feel completely ready, but I knew from the beginning that my running was not nearly up to scratch. So that was stressful, but I left it all in God's hands. And also the actual race, the running was the biggest obstacle. We were running up and down a ski slope, the Blue Mountain Ski Resort in Ontario, and the elevation and just, yeah, that was just huge. So just every time we did obstacles and then we turn around a corner, I think, okay, last hill, as we're running down, and I see we're going straight back up again. I'm like, really? So that was definitely a big challenge, but the highs was just being in Canada, being in another country with like-minded people. The camaraderie there is just amazing. Everyone's encouraging you, and we're on this, a really, really huge race. So that was definitely a high, and also being able to embrace nature. It's completely different to South Africa, being able to run in the mountains by yourself. So that was also definitely a big, big high. And then podium was a blessing, God is faithful, and yeah, I couldn't be more relieved and happy.
So where to from here, Sabrina? Are there any specific future goals that you've set for yourself?
Yeah, well, next year I'd definitely like to go and compete internationally. I'd like to do World Champs again, which will be in Canada. And a big goal of mine is to do World's Toughest Mudder, maybe not next year or hopefully the year after that, but I'll work for next year. And to do a Spartan race or toughest race, just to be able to compete internationally against the best of the best, and just, yeah, get South African athletes to the other side.
Thank you very much for sharing your story with us, Sabrina.